Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all my everyday makeup routine. So makeup that I have been doing on a fairly daily basis, like I'm sure most of you as well. I've been trying to let my skin really breathe these past few months and not put too much makeup on it, but whenever I do want to wear makeup and feel like I just need to get a little bit ready, this is pretty much the routine that I've been following for the past few months. So I'm excited to share it with you all today. Before we get started, I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I upload videos twice a week, Tuesdays and Sundays, so I would love to have you back here. Now let's jump into it. Please ignore my skin. It's kind of freaking out right now. I don't know why I have like these really bad breakouts right there, but we're just gonna ignore that. So I already did my skincare this morning. I'm not really gonna go into detail about that, but I can do a separate like skincare routine video or like a morning routine skincare video. So if you want to see that, definitely give this video a thumbs up and I can absolutely do that for you. But I haven't really been using primer too much recently, well I guess the past few months, because I feel like I don't need my makeup to last most days. So I'm just gonna go in with the Tatcha Dewy Skin Cream. I have this little mini one here from my Ipsy bag, and I'm just gonna use a little bit of this. A little bit goes a very long way with this product, but I think it makes my skin look really, really nice underneath of foundation. Alright, I'm just gonna let this sink into my skin for a few minutes. I find that I can't really put product right on top of this skin cream because it is a little bit thicker and it kind of just needs that time to really soak into the skin, or else I find that it pills up under makeup a tiny bit, especially in like the cheek region here. So I'll be back in a few. This is like the first time I've worn my hair down without like part of it pulled back in a clip or a bun or something, and I don't know how I feel about it. My hair has been really annoying lately and I haven't loved how it's been looking, so today is a decent day. Alright, for foundation, no surprise here, I'm going in with the Wet n Wild Dewy foundation. I absolutely love this stuff. I find this is like the only foundation I've been wearing when I have been wearing foundation for the past few months. It's just so pretty and it doesn't have like super high coverage, so we are going to have to do some work in the breakout regions with some concealer, but I just think it looks really, really nice on the skin and I'm obsessed with it. I also think this shade is a pretty decent color match for me. I have the shade Shell Ivory, and I think it matches pretty well to my neck. Obviously it looks a little bit off with the rest of my face skin because I do have some redness in areas and my skin is a little bit red from rubbing that cream in because I have super sensitive skin, but I think it matches really nicely with like my hands and my neck. Now, if it were a normal day when I was like going to class or to the store or something like that, I would probably add another layer of foundation, especially in this region here and just like on my cheek and chin region a little bit. But because of the whole situation that's been going on, I've been trying to only do one layer of foundation, not only to save the product but also to not make it look so heavy on my skin. I find that I don't really need that much coverage and I'm not looking for that much coverage right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead in with concealer to cover up those regions. For concealer today, I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. I have really been enjoying this, but it is a little bit dark for me, so it can't really pinpoint if I am in love with it because the shade is a little bit off. So I'm hoping to get a little bit of a tan here in the next few days. It's been so incredibly cold here. It snowed the other day and it is like almost mid-May. So I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm not too happy about it. You see how this concealer is just a little bit darker than my foundation? It's not anything that I like really mind. Also, I'm not going to use eyeshadow primer, so I'm just going to pop some of the extra concealer onto my eyelid, but I forget what I was saying. Oh yeah. It's not, I don't really mind that the concealer is a little bit darker than my foundation, just because I don't really care too much now, and especially for an easy everyday look like this, I don't really mind. I don't feel like I need to be super perfected. And plus, it's only on a few regions of my face. It's not like my whole entire face is super dark and a much deeper tone than the rest of my skin, so I'm okay with it. I should probably tell you the shade that I got. This is Light Sand. I think I wanted to get a shade or two lighter in this, but when I ordered it, they were all sold out on Ulta's website of the lighter shades, and this was the latest one they had in stock, and I thought it would match decently well. Alright, so this is one layer of concealer. You kind of can't really tell with the lighting because I am looking pretty glowy and dewy and pretty covered, but I am going to go ahead and add a little bit more concealer there and on this region of my cheek here, because I do have some spots poking through that I don't really want, but I'm really going to go with a light hand. Just a little dab there and a little dab right there. When I cover breakouts like this one, this is like one of those under the skin pimples, and it's kind of a little bit like scabby now, so it's a little bit harder to cover. Sorry if that was like kind of gross, but it's a little bit harder to cover, as I'm sure any of you that have had breakouts before know. So I like to kind of just leave my concealer and like sit on the region that I want to cover for a few minutes, well not a few minutes, but a few moments, so that it can kind of just like set into that spot first and not just blend around the spot whenever I go ahead to blend it out. And then I just lightly pat and kind of use a little bit of precision around it and not directly on it. Alright, so I have been setting my under eyes and like this region of my face recently, but I'm gonna let this concealer sink in a little bit before I go ahead and set it, because it is so hydrating. I find that if I set it right away, it just looks a little bit wonky. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows, and then I will go ahead and set my under eyes and my smile lines and just this region of my face here. For my everyday brows, I've kind of been alternating between the Benefit Gimme Brow and this Shady Slim eyebrow pencil from LA Girl. When I want a little bit more of a defined brow, I usually go with this, and on days that I am not really wearing much makeup, like not even foundation, I usually go with this on my brow. So today I'm going to go ahead and in with the pencil, because I just feel like if I'm wearing foundation, I need to have a little bit more precision in my brows, and this kind of just makes them a little bit more fluffy and natural. So I'm going to head in with this one today. First, I just like to brush through them a little bit to kind of get all the hairs where I want them. I need my eyebrows done so badly. I've been trying to just keep up with them by plucking them, but it's not the same, you know. You can only go so long with maintaining your brows just with tweezers. So I can't wait until I can get them done again and shaped nicely. This one is pretty decent. It looks a little messy here at the tail, but it has like this nice arch to it, and this one is just so flat. I need to get like underneath here cleaned up a little bit so they look a little bit more even. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear some drilling outside. My neighbors like right next door, they're getting work done to their house, and they're like drilling into the ground super far down, so it's like a very unpleasant sound, and they start so early in the morning, and it's a little annoying. Man, this brow is giving me lots of issues today. Alright, whatever. It's fine. Alright, so I'm gonna head in and set my eyes now. So I'm just gonna use this little mini Ciate London setting powder. I just like put it on the back of my hand here and then dip my sponge into that, because I find if I put it on like my vanity counter, it leaves a mark. I like to go in with a sponge first under my eyes, and then I'll grab a little bit more of a fluffy powder brush and set this region here and just use some of the excess on my smile lines, and then go ahead and wipe away whatever is left under my eye. Alright, so because this foundation and concealer combo is so incredibly dewy and hydrating, I find that it needs a lot of time to sink into the skin. So I'm going to go ahead and do my eyes, and then we'll finish off the face. So when I have wanted to throw some eye makeup on, I've kind of been switching between the e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow palettes and my Makeup Geek palette. Today I'm going to go in with my Makeup Geek palette because I haven't used this in a while on camera. So if you guys haven't seen the videos where I created and used this palette for the first time, I will link my playlist up above. So basically, in a nutshell, with Makeup Geek's relaunch, you can create your own palettes, and I decided to do that for a little series here on my channel, and this is the palette that I created. So today I'm going to go in with a super simple look. I'm just going to use this Honey Badger shade, at least, yeah, I think this is Honey Badger. I'm pretty sure. This Honey Badger shade in my crease, this Starry-Eyed shade on my lid, and then I'm just going to blend out the outer corner with this Cheetah Bear shade. So just a simple brown neutral look. finished eyes, just something super simple and really easy and pretty neutral and just a nice everyday look. So for mascara today, I'm going to go in with the Benefit Roller Lash. I've really been enjoying this lately. I've kind of rediscovered it and I find that it makes my lashes look super pretty just for like a nice everyday lash. As you guys probably know, my absolute favorite mascara of all time is the Lancome Monsieur Big, and I absolutely love that stuff. I have so many bottles of that on backup, but that's kind of like a really dramatic mascara, so just for everyday wear. I don't really want something that big usually, so I just head in with my Benefit Roller Lash. It still makes my lashes look super voluminous and separated, but in a little bit more of a natural way. Alright, so lashes are done. Now it's time to finish up the face. So for bronzer, I've really been enjoying the Ofra Cosmetics bronzer in the shade Americano. I have been liking the Wet n Wild contour stick in the shade Oaks on You. However, this looks a little bit orange on me right now, so I kind of have to wait until I get a little bit more of a tan to really use that. Sorry, I was reaching for my brush. This stuff is a little bit dark too, but using a fluffy brush like this, it's not like too precise, so it doesn't look super outrageous on me. It kind of just looks like a nice little tan. And sometimes if it looks a little much like how it looks on my forehead right there, I just take my foundation sponge and kind of blend it in a little bit to mix it with the foundation again, and it's all fixed. So for blush every day, I've really been enjoying the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in the shade Nectar, I believe. Yeah, this stuff is so incredibly beautiful. It just is the most pretty spring color, and I love it. It is a little bit tricky to work with at first, and you don't need a lot of this. Like, I'm talking that's probably way too much for my cheeks, but what I like to do is just smile a little bit and dot it on that region there, and then just take my finger and blend it in. It does take a while for it to kind of look natural, but once you get to that point, it looks really pretty. See what I mean? It just looks like you're rosy, and it's so pretty. It's so easy to apply once you get the hang of it. It definitely works the best with your fingers. It gets a little bit messy, obviously, on your fingers, which I don't love, but it's definitely the best way to apply it, and I think it looks so natural and just has a really pretty finish. So I have kind of not been using highlighter a lot recently, especially for more everyday makeup looks, but one that I've really been enjoying is this liquid highlighter from the Balm. This is the Mary Dumanizer, and this I also like to apply with my fingers. So I just take it on the brush, or on the applicator, and just swipe it onto my cheeks there. But I find if I blend it in with a brush, it gets a little bit too streaky, so I just like to go in with my finger and kind of just blend it out a little bit. It does take a while for it to look natural, similar to the blush, but once it does, it looks so gorgeous. And then I just like to pop a little bit of that onto my nose and right on my Cupid's bow. Alright, and then to finish things off, we're going to go in with some lip products. So I'm going to use a combination today of this Buxom Full-On Lip Plumping Cream in the shade Hot Toddy, and then this little mini Bite lipstick. Sorry, I had to think of what it was for a second there. This Bite lipstick in the shade Meringue. Typically, on an everyday basis, when I'm not doing like a full face like this, I just throw this gloss on by itself, because it does have a little bit of a color to it, but it just makes my lips look a little bit fuller and just a little bit more done. But when I do have some makeup on, I like to throw something on underneath of it because it is a little bit sheer and just isn't enough on its own. Typically, I like to go in with a lip liner, but it also looks really pretty with this kind of nude pink underneath. It does have a little bit more of a pinkiness to it, but I think that it looks really pretty. Ooh, what is on mine? So I'm first just going to put a little bit of this on and kind of just outline my lips with it so they look a little bit more defined. And then I'm just going to pop some of this gloss on top. Alright, and this is the finished everyday makeup look. So I hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial style video. I've gotten a few people ask about my everyday makeup routine, so I hope this was helpful and gave you a little bit of inspiration into how you can feel a little bit more done up, but with some super simple, easy makeup. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you so much for sticking around to the end of it with me. I would love it if you would subscribe to my channel. I upload videos twice a week, Tuesdays and Sundays, so I would love to have you back here, and I can't wait to see you in my next one. Bye.